Hey everybody, I have a card share and a haul to share with you all today. I have wanted to try making some of the Slimline cards that you see people make. And so I did order a couple of the dies that go along with it, and I'll share that with you when I get to the haul. But I also wanted to play with this stamp set from the Greetery. It's called Top Down Day. And it is little car here, convertible, with you can have the little girl sitting in it, or the balloons, or the flowers, and or. So it is a layering stamp. I do have the stamps and the dies, but I just used the stamp for this set of cards. This is another set. This is actually from Paper Tray Ink. And I don't know what this is called because I bought this used. But it's got a whole bunch of stars. I used a little trail here for the card, and you'll see that. And then this is a set of cloud stencils from My Favorite Things. It's Cloud ST99 and ST100, mini cloud edges. So I have two different size of clouds, and you actually turn the stencil as you use it to get different looks. And then I used a bunch of different inks. Okay, so I'll share the cards with you all so you can see why there's so many inks. But I inked the clouds with the stencil using tumbled glass distress ink, and that's regular distress ink, and then I used my makeup brush. And for this card, all of the paper is from Paper Tray Ink, the Stamper Select White, and then this is Bitty Big in the black shade. So I used that for the paper, and then for the stamp, the red convertible is using Scarlet Jewel as the darker color, and Pure Poppy for the red. And then, of course, the tires are jet black. All the grays that are on the car, I have the silver stone for the light and the fender. And then for the top part, it's the gray denim and charcoal suit. For her skin tone, I used the Sand Dunes from Altenew and dark chocolate for her hair. The scarf is Aqua Mist from Paper Tray Ink. And what else? That's it for the colors on the red version. And then this stamp comes from the stamp set with the for the Top Down Day. And then this is the star trails. You can see that. I just used the same color of the gray here in the trails here to make it look like there's some movement. So this is a Slimline card, and when I say Slimline, it's not what you might think it would be. It's not like a legal piece of letter size piece of paper folded in half. That's not the size of this card, and it seems to vary when you look up the companies that are making dies for Slimline cards. They're not all the same measurement, so just be careful when you're ordering. Not everybody uses the same measurement, okay? So this card, I'm going to measure it for you. The card front is 8.5 wide by 3.5. Is that right? Yeah, 3.5. So this would be 7 inches, and then you score it down the middle. Okay, that's not one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. You have to cut it down. Some companies are making dies to a different size, so I just want you to be aware of that. If you're going to order any dies, look at the size of the dies. In particular, they are sized to fit a number 9 envelope, and a number 9 envelope, I had it written down here somewhere, but there's a specific size to a number 9 envelope, though. So there is a standard size for that. And both, or measurements that I've seen for a Slimline card, both of those measurements that I've come down to, they fit in the number 9 card. So if that helps, just make sure that you look at the sizing, because not all of them are the same. Not all of the companies are making them the same size. Kind of weird, but that's what, that's what you have. You don't have a standard. So this card uses the same you know, bitty big paper. Instead of the car being red, it's blue. I have Hawaiian Shores for the darker part and Aqua Mist for the lighter parts of the color. And then the weather vane is actually used to stamp the detailed lines that are in here. And then all of the other colors are the same that I mentioned before. And then the last one, which is the pink one. The pink was done with Baby Pink and Pinkalicious. Those are the two shades that I used for the pink convertible. Otherwise, the cards are pretty much the same. So I wanted to share that. Let me show you the dies that I purchased. Looking for the packaging. Okay. So I first purchased a set of dies from the new release from Pinkfresh Studio. And I'm turning them this way because the dies are not in here. They're on a magnetic sheet now. This first set, their dies are made in China, by the way, which I didn't know. Slim diagonal stitched rectangle. That's what this one is. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 different dies in here. And there's a little diagonal stitch around the edges. So that's kind of nice. And then this one is slim stitched rectangles. So this is just a regular stitch all the way around the edge. And again, you get 4 sizes here of the die. And I'll say that because of the way that she did the set, there are two of the same. There's a die that's like this in the set, and it basically just cuts the mat, right? There's no stitching in it. You can use the other die to cut the stitching, but this is just a regular piece that will cut, which is what I used for the card. And because I have both of these sets, they each have one in it, so I'm able to cut 2 at a time to make things go a little faster. So I'll just mention that. Each of these sets has the same, there's actually 2 of them, the same size die in it. And so that'll help if you have both sets. And I wanted both because they're different decorative edges. So this one is a border die. I don't normally buy border dies, but this is for the slim cards, so it's called Slim Edgers, and there's 4 pieces in this, and you can see what it makes, these different edges for the cards. So you can have your flap be the different edge, or you can use them for embellishing your card. These last 2 right here, these are more like you would call cover plates. So this one's called Slim Diagonal Stripes. Yeah, Slim Diagonal Stripes is this one. And then this one is like a candy cane. Whoops, I dropped my glasses. Slim Fancy Diagonal Stripes. So you can see there's a difference in the pattern that they make. So I bought those 2. And then the last one I got is a Slim Ornate Banner. So it cuts kind of like a banner shape at the bottom here. The bottom edge. Or it could be the side edge, depending on how you turn your card. The advantage to a slim card is you have a little more room. If you're doing a scene card or something like that, you have a little more room to work with, vertically or horizontally, depending on which way you want to go. And I don't think it would cost you any extra to ship because it's a rectangular card in a standard envelope. I don't think it's extra, but I haven't sent one yet, so I don't know. But, you know, you want to make it sure it fits in a standard envelope size. So, and it's not extra thick because extra thickness causes more problems, right? So you might have to have extra postage there. So these are the Slimline dies that I purchased from Pinkfresh. And so what I've done is, for storage purposes, I put them on a magnetic sheet because these are longer than an A2 size, right? So as you can see, I put these 2 together on one sheet of 8.5 by 11, and there's 4 dies in a set, in these 2 sets, and they kind of go together. And I'm storing all the Pinkfresh ones here in this, and I might change that up depending on how often I use them. So I got that, and today in the mail I got another set of things from Trinity Stamps. They sent me this freebie. It's got some mint tea in here, and it also had a lollipop, which I ate. And they sent me some of their little shaker bits. They do a lot of embellishments. And so you can see here, there's little tiny clay pieces. They're little flower-shaped clay pieces. So that's what was in my little freebie. That's nice. They sent tea. Which I do drink. Especially mint tea. So I bought a couple of dies from them. The one I really wanted that came out was this one. And this is for Slimline cards. It's an envelope. Is that what it's called? Standalone die set, Slimline series envelope builder. And where did my cards go? So I'm going to tell you right now, here's the card and here's the envelope. And you can see there's some space around it. So you got plenty of room in there for the envelope, for the card to fit inside this type of envelope. And this envelope is kind of like a policy type envelope where you have this larger backer die, and then there's this this flap here. So you cut two of this long flap, one for each side, and they fold inward. And then you have this flap and this flap, and you cut one of each. So one is the top and one is the bottom. And then you can cut them in different colors if you want to make different colored flaps and stuff like that. Or you can cut them all in the same color. This would fit on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So you want to make sure that as you're cutting, you can lay it all out on the paper, or you can cut them from different scrap pieces of paper if you want. And then they've also included some extra pieces, like this is like a closure. You know, you'd have a circle at the top and the bottom, and you'd use string like a figure 8 to close it up. And then there's the words hello and friend, and you got the inner cuts. So you have the 2 layers for each of the words. And then you have this. This I don't have yet. This is a scallop edge inner cut. So it'll cut like a little frame. And you can make a shaker card. So this was the one I really wanted to get because now I can make envelopes for it. The punch board, the envelope punch board doesn't actually have the way of making a number 9 size envelope. I was looking for the card size here. It's not listed here. So obviously it's not configured for that. I'm sure you could figure it out, but it's not on here. So unless you just want to buy standard number 9 size envelopes, but sometimes you want a colored envelope. So now I can make those myself. So I got that one, and then I bought some other things that I saw that they released. This one is a little space capsule. It's called Make a Spaceship. And they do have a stamp that goes with this, but I figured I already had a stamp that I wanted to use where the little space people could fit inside. I just thought it was cute. It kind of looks like a popcorn popper to me too. One of those microwave ones. And then I got this cover plate. It's called Starry Skies Cover Plate. It doesn't actually cut any holes. It will pierce the paper and make impressions of stars, little kind of a firework looking thing in different designs and sizes. So I thought that was cute. And then this one is a stencil for craters. So you can make like a little planet scene. This is another stencil. Now this one is for Slimline cards for making space themed things. So this is Slimline Space Swirl, and there's 3 stencils here. So you get 3 different layers to work with. And then the last I got was this one. This is the first time I've seen something like this. This is like a foam hand that you'd see at the sports arenas. This one's called Shaped Card Die Your Number 1. So you can cut out one of those foam hands if you're into sports. But I thought it would be fun. So it folds in half. And then you have a layer for the hand. You can layer on top of it, or just cut this if you want to. I'm thinking cutting it from foam is probably the way to go. Probably be pretty cute. And then you've got some sayings in there. So that's what I got from Trinity Stamps. And this actually shipped pretty quickly. I think I ordered it last week because they came out last week. And this came from Washington, so Washington State, that is. So that one arrived pretty quickly. But that's it for now. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.